Hello. Hey, thank you for clicking on this video. First of all, if you're watching because of the normal tomfoolery things that Robin and I do, we don't have any of that today for you.
Nope.
And we had a choice. We should edit, or should we edit the video you're about to see, or should we keep it completely intact and let you see it as we saw it? So we kept it intact.
We did.
So this is a video of a tour of Sparr Elementary School in Marion County, Florida. This is not a reflection on the teachers or the principal or the students, of course.
Or the employees, like the custodian.
Yes, in fact,
no reflection at all on the humans.
That's right. Everybody we met was top notch. The students were so happy. We didn't videotape the students, but the teachers were just so knowledgeable. But it's the building. It's the school building itself.
Yeah.
It is old. It was built in 1964. A lot of it has never been updated.
No, terrible. And it's too small for the students that are there. There are a lot of portables.
Wait till you see. Just if you have the time to watch this, you'll see. You can fast forward here and there, but if you got the time it takes to watch it, watch it. Especially if you're an elected official. If you're with the county commission from Marion County, Florida. This is a very local specific video. So if you're watching in Australia, and I know we have some of you out there. And I'm not saying it's unusual, and I'm not blaming anybody. We're not trying to say that. But what we are saying is that here's the deal. The school superintendent, what's Kevin's title? What's his name? What's his title? Resource officer?
He's the director of public relations.
Okay, so he wrote
for Marion County Public Schools.
So he wrote to us, and he wrote to other people in the media to say, would you come and take a tour with the superintendent of schools? And so we did. And the whole reason, we thought at first it was to show how beautiful the school is and the great programs that they have. And they do have great programs. And the beauty is there. It's just in the teachers. The teachers are beautiful. The way it's handled is beautiful.
And the school staff is beautiful.
Right. They know the people are not the issue here. The issue is the building itself.
Yeah.
So that's easier to fix than people.
Sure.
But it takes money. And so you're going to hear that she has, when I say she, I mean the superintendent.
Dr. Diane Gullett.
Thank you. She's got an idea for what would solve the problem. It's two things. Well, maybe more than two, but the big two are impact fees.
Yes.
For new people. And there are new homes being built as we speak. All over this county, there are new homes being built.
Plus apartments. So it's not just single family dwelling homes. It's all apartments that are going up all over the place.
Yeah.
And we need to repair these schools because there's a lot of students that start here every week.
So impact fees. The other thing is a penny tax or a half penny tax. I don't know the details. But I implore you, if you are a county commissioner from Marion County,
or a school board member from Marion County.
Or if you're with the state, you're a state senator, state representative, maybe there's something you can do. So it's your job, P.S.
Yeah, it is. You were elected to protect
There you go. She'll tell you.
And it's very ironic because this week right here that we're in, well, today is February 29th, 2024. This whole week is...
Weekday.
Yeah, but this whole week is Children's Week in the state of Florida.
That's right,
so
it is.
What better, and the students and teachers and parents, a lot of people are in Tallahassee, Florida, in our state capital, celebrating the children and the programs. And what more appropriate week for us to reach out to anybody that can help to improve the condition of the buildings of the schools in Marion County, Florida.
Okay. So now I want you to watch this. The first part you're going to see right after we get off. You're going to see Dr. Diane Gullett. And it's actually something she said at the very end of our tour. But I want to put it at the very beginning, right after Robin and I talk.
And even if you are not located here in Marion County, Florida, but you have your own area that you're located in, maybe your area is going through the same thing and you don't know how to address the problem.
Right.
So it could happen too. So this is an eye-opener for everyone.
Yeah, the solution is to get the community to all work together. We had impact fees in our area for a while, and I don't know why they stopped them, but they did.
And Larry has a child. I have 2 children, but all 3 of the children are all growing up. They have families of their own. So
Hey, the schools,
our children went to Marion County Public Schools, graduated.
the schools in our county served the children that we raised
Yes.
well, and they continue to teach the children well. So this is not a reflection of the teachers at all.
No.
It's a reflection, and the money that we're hoping that you as elected officials will vote in favor of, as much as the teachers need a raise too, but this is for the buildings.
Exactly.
So, all right, enough of us. I'm gonna edit. The only edit you're gonna see is I'm gonna take the ending and put it at the beginning, and then the ending will play again at the ending. It's Dr. Diane Gullett, and she's gonna basically sum up the whole thing. So if you don't want to see any more than that, there you go.
Yeah, correct.
Plus, in the group that we were with is several other journalists,
Yes.
including Bruce Ackerman.
Sure, he's a great guy.
So he's with the Ocala Gazette. I'm sure he did an article, and I really don't know who the other journalists were.
No, they
were there.
new to us.
But they, if you want to read about it, I'm sure Bruce has something nice.
Sure.
But here, I want you to see the whole thing. Because you can. Because we got YouTube now.
That's right. You can see the whole
This way you get a tour without having to get off your butt, okay?
Exactly.
We got off our butts, so you don't have to get off your butt.
And this is just one of many schools that the tours were given at within a 2-day period. This is Sparr Elementary School.
Yeah. And here's Dr. Diane Gullett. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do the right thing.
God bless you for doing the right thing.
You right there. Where's the line? There it is.
There it is.
Do the right thing. All right.
We're very fortunate right now that we have such a dedicated team, but when you have buildings that are half century old and have original systems and we can't get parts to replace them, at any moment it would impact entirely a whole school potentially and the learning of those students. And we don't have a lot of options. We are down to only our 1.5 millage rate, which is about $25 to $30 million a year. And we've already calculated we need over $1.5 billion. So we haven't had impact fees in 13 years, and we have 9% growth in enrollment over the last 10 years, and we haven't had sales tax in 15 years.
Is out sick today, but we have Ms. Schrader here, the assistant principal, who's going to be guiding us on the tour, looking at different areas. We also have our supervisor of facilities, supervisor of technical services that will also assist in pointing out things that are facility related and explaining and showing why our need is for our funding sources for facilities. So Ms. Schrader, I'm going to turn it over to you.
And before you do that, I want to say welcome. I'm Diane Gullett, Superintendent, Marion County Public Schools, and I'm really grateful that you all are here to take this tour with us. So thank you for being here.
And I did want to apologize on behalf of Mrs. Johnson, our principal. She would love to be here, but she's unfortunately very sick, so I'm going to do my best to represent her well in her absence.
You'll do great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this is obviously our front office, and it's that place that we come to when stakeholders enter our school. This is the first view that they see. It is a shared workspace for our receptionists, so working hard on some things for students for testing. Also here in the front office, we have the principal's office. So within the principal's office, we have a space that hasn't been repaired from where there was wallpaper. It's been painted over. It's also very loud in this room, so she can hear the doorbell, the gate. It's a hard to use space at times with noise in the principal's office.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Before we really get started, can you give us all a lowdown of how old the school is?
Sure.
And overall, what a lot of your needs are before we can start moving. Is that possible?
Yes. Miss
Is that all right with everybody?
This school was built in
Hold on.
1990. Okay.
Start again.
Yes, this school was built in 1964, and we have grown quite a bit since 1964. We currently have 440 students here, and we are using every corner of our school to the best of our ability. So what we're showing you today is how we're trying to strategically use the space we've been given. And so this is the secretary's office, and then we are going to head across, oh yes, I'm sorry. So over here we have the one of 2 staff restrooms within our entire school. It's very small. I don't think there's visitors in it right now. This is where visitors can use the restroom. As of 1 year ago, it has a full-size toilet. There used to be a child-size toilet in this bathroom. We have a newer vanity we just got last year. So this is the one restroom available for visitors to use, and students have to use it at times as well. All right.
And how many students are in the school?
440. And then if we go across the hall, now this way you can see when we get large deliveries, unfortunately the hallway is a place to put them. We're going to head down in here so you can see more offices. In this space, we have our family engagement liaison space. She also shares this space at this table when we have members from the ESOL program specialist come, our nurse, those people who are not here on a daily basis, but when they come, they share this space with her. This is our IPC's office, and this is the clinic. It is a fairly small space. It can house only about two students, and there's quite a small restroom in there as well. The soap dispenser in that space and paper towel dispenser are so high the smallest kiddos can't really reach it. You want to talk about the closet, Ms. Graham?
This is our closet that we store all of our supplies for our activities, for our teachers, activities, things like this. If you want to come and look, it's very small. We even have skeletons in it.
What does ESOL stand for?
Supporting the students with
English for speakers of other languages.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Robert, anything you wanted to add to this?
Yes, I was going to say in 1964 the requirements were considerably different than in 2024. For instance, back in the day, the typical school consisted of a principal, a secretary, a guidance clerk, and some sort of a bookkeeper, and a clinic was the only other space. That's 5 spaces and a front office. Our average school for about 440 students now, you have to consider there are resource officers, there are guidance clerks in addition to the guidance staff. The clinic requirements have changed drastically since 1964, and this whole office space is probably half the size of what it should be for a school this size. And just to follow up a footnote of what was talked about previously, with 440 students, this school's been added onto, as most of our old schools do, get added onto, and the student population is probably 40% higher now than it was when the school opened in 1964. So I just wanted to point that out, that codes change, requirements change, and of course, once you build a building, it is set at that size. You either have to replace that building or construct something completely different and move those services elsewhere, which we have not had a chance to do at this school just because of the fact that it costs so much and there's only so much land available without completely changing the demographics of this school, whether it's parking or a bus loop or where the cafeteria is. Those are monumental moves if we have to go and revamp the footprint of the school.
And as we add classrooms, wings, and portables, what doesn't change is the size of a cafeteria, the size of a media center. So they're still left with a 40% increase in student enrollment with the size of a cafeteria and a media center for a much smaller population. So we continue to add to several schools classrooms, but again, those common areas do not get expanded and don't house the current numbers.
And what are the grade levels here?
Pre-K through 5th grade. Yes. Wonderful.
And can I ask your name and how do you spell it and what's your position?
I can give you that as we walk, because
Okay.
we are on a very tight timeline.
Okay.
We're going to head down this hall.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, please do.
And your name, sir?
Robert,
Can you repeat it?
sure.
Make life easy here.
It doesn't say my title, but I supervise the facilities department, which is design and construction.
As we go, I just want to point out the restrooms. They're all original plumbing. We have had some updated fixtures and all put in, but I was wanting to show the plumbing chase that's on the back side of all the original lines that have original cast iron lines and galvanized that are completely deteriorating throughout the campus. The lighting is very poor in there, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see.
Okay.
So can you tell us what we're looking at here, please?
The galvanized and cast iron plumbing lines, the original plumbing lines.
That's from 64?
Yes. Then right behind you, you can actually see right at the floor level of the mop sink.
And is that something you need to update?
Yes. Yes. Okay. The plumbing, the water lines, sewer lines, and electrical throughout the entire campus needs to be replaced.
Oh my gosh, okay.
It's all original. You can see down at the floor level there just what we're dealing with the cast iron and lines that are deteriorating and have totally fallen apart. To make proper repairs, you got to add clamps to them.
Right.
Finding a good location to be able to clamp and not continue breaking the line is,
oh my gosh.
Very hard to.
Yeah.
How often is maintenance done on the mechanics?
On what?
On mechanics, plumbing, HVAC, electric?
Daily. Every school varies. It just depends.
But as needed?
Yes.
So there's always something.
There's always something. Yes.
We average about 24,000 work orders a year.
How many?
24,000.
Whoa.
And nearly half of all of our schools are 50 years. So think about the volume of that question to the maintenance. It's constant with 50-year-old plus pipes.
And 78% of our schools are over 30 years old. And with our capital outlay, which is funded through the 1.5 millage, only 20% of our maintenance and facility needs are met. So 80% of our projects are unfunded.
Go ahead.
This is an example of the water lines, the galvanized water lines. You can see down inside of them how they're deteriorating.
Yeah.
Hold on, can you give me that again, please? Come on, say it again.
Galvanized water lines throughout the campus that are deteriorating underground and in the walls.
Okay, one more time. This is an example.
Galvanized water lines throughout the campus that are deteriorating underground and in the walls.
How long have they been in the school?
They're the original, since 1964.
Wow. So is part of the reason for inviting the media to get the word out about a need for upgrades and maybe funding?
We've invited all of the local elected officials and community leaders to come and see firsthand what we've been describing as our crisis.
Oh my gosh,
You can see this
okay.
in the galvanized pipe.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
we have, again, nearly half of all of our buildings are 50 years and older, and 78% are 30 years and older. We have original pipes, we have original HVAC systems, and we do not have the money to replace those, and our students deserve better.
Okay, now I understand why we're here.
Now you understand why we're here.
Very good.
Correct. And thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
All right, Ms. Schrader.
All right, this is another storage closet busting at the seams. We use it the best we can to store all of our supplies that teachers and students might need. And then farther down this hall, we have pre-K, they're sleeping, so we're not headed in there. I do want to show you a couple of classrooms that we repurpose as homes.
It says Todd, that's not
What are these? The drawings? What are the paintings?
I would have to ask the teacher which ones, what activity they were doing.
Oh, okay.
I imagine it's probably a math.
Oh, okay.
Space that we use as office space for our coach and our intervention teacher, our reading coach and our intervention teacher. We also use this space for leadership meetings and for collaboration every week. It's also the storage space for our MTSS materials.
Because you don't have sufficient storage.
Yes, ma'am. There is no other storage space to put it in.
And do the teachers bring in some of their own materials?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, they do. We try to give them what we can, but there's always things that teachers need that they purchase on their own. And across the hall is my office and our secured storage. This room is also the book room. So, but in addition to my office, it's also the housing space for textbooks and for all of the testing materials.
And this is a good example of when the school was originally built, we typically did not have assistant principals back then. So again, when we added the assistant principal, there was no office to put the assistant principal in. So now we're having to take up a classroom for textbook storage and an office and so forth.
This space is technically a classroom, but being repurposed as this office/storage space.
Are the same number of textbooks used now that it's the computer age?
Yes, ma'am. We still have textbooks for all of our core subjects. We're going to head down this way.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We'll trip on.
Okay.
The remainder of this hall houses second grade. And they utilize those restrooms we saw at the beginning of the hallway.
The backpacks and everything.
Yeah, we just got these hooks. This is a new addition we were excited about, having these hooks added to our hallway to free up some space inside of the classroom to allow us to house the backpacks on the outside.
And you can even note how small the hallway is. Again, when something was built in the early 60s, it was built to a different code, a different size. And with almost doubling the population here, if you can imagine the number of students at dismissal that crowd this hallway.
And there are no lockers.
No lockers.
This space over here is a hallway that we repurposed as an MTSS space. So students use this space during the day. We know that it is a fire hazard to keep this furniture here, so it's furniture we have to move in and out every day to be able to utilize this space for MTSS. And then if you come on into our media center, in our media center,
Hello.
It is a small space, but we have a fantastic media specialist who does a great job being creative and crafty with the space he's been given. We just got this new board installed. This is also where he has the morning show. So all of this over here, he has to move every single day to be able to film the show back here. All of the equipment is back in this area, along with some more tech equipment storage back in this space here.
Do your students participate in the Student Media Festival every year from Sparr Elementary?
They do get involved in the media center.
We have, yes.
So Mr. Hartley does a great job making good use of this space.
This is one of the smallest elementary media centers that we have in Marion County.
Is that right?
Very small. So when he's conducting research or teaching class, doing internet safety, having students in here to check out books, it can get very tight.
It does indeed. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's on your wish list?
What's on the way? Other than more space, more space would be the biggest thing, and just study carrels, study places for the students to be able to study, work, to find their books and to read quietly and things like that, and focus on what they need to. Just to have a little bit of personal space while they're reading, I think would be a great advantage for all of them.
And this space also gets used for MTSS, and this morning we used it for testing. So that the disarray of the tables is because we had to spread them out for testing in here
And
this
a lot of the
morning.
newer schools have rooms where they can do the morning news and learn how to do that as a career and leadership roles.
That's my understanding too, yes, to be able to provide different spaces. We had the library space, and if we had a video production space that wasn't shared and have to do it
in a corner.
In a corner like that. And I was thinking of the pull-out beds and things like that, where you have to use small confined spaces, but to be able to spread out and have that prioritized for either the video production crew or the library crew and things like that, and not have it overlapping so much. Would be a big help.
You've been a magician.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And I think this is a great example of furniture. So you can see here we have two different furnitures. This is actually more of a Cortenda type, and then two different desks here, tabletops. So furniture really gets the short end of the stick. When we build a new school, that's usually included in our construction and so forth. But once the school is built, it really relies on the principal having the funds to replace them. I know we do a lot of work orders just to work on desks, just to keep them in a sturdy position. So just another good example of shortfalls of money.
And it's very clean in here. I mean, you can tell that it's very clean and that all of the teachers and staff really take good care of the equipment and the spaces, carpet, everything.
We're trying to promote literacy, and the media center is normally the hub of the school. So what we want to see is kids coming and going all day throughout the day, checking out books, and that makes it very difficult when we're trying to maneuver around furniture. Right?
What kind of technology do the students get to interact with? I see smart boards over there.
Indeed, the smart boards, each of them has their own Chromebook assigned to them so that they're able to hook in online through the Chromebook. We have a few standalone student desks that they use in that way. Video production crew they have cameras, we used to call it a TriCaster, now it's a Roland programmable things, and they use soundboards and things like that. So the video production crew gets to put that together and use that and for things like that, and to go out and to interview teachers and things like that if they have an assignment such as finding out more about a program or things like that. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome. Thank you.
And sir, what is your name and how do you spell it and what's your title?
I'm David Hartley, David Hartley, and I'm the Library Media Specialist at Sparr Elementary School.
Thanks, sir.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, look at that. The sky is the limit. I love everything on the walls. The sky is the limit. And airplanes.
There they are. All the little guys. All right, so this space you'll notice is an uncovered walkway between building 1 and building 7, and we've asked to have it covered, and there's a transformer something somewhere around here. There's some reason we can't cover it. So what that means for our students is when they have to travel from one of the other buildings to building 1 and it's inclement weather, they either have to be wet or they have to go out the front gates and back in the front door, which is obviously not something we want them to do. So we have this uncovered walkway.
What is on your wish list for this area right here? A cover, obviously.
I would love a cover, of course,
Yeah.
because in Florida we get a lot of rain, so having a way for people to be able to travel around campus
Right.
and be protected from the weather.
And as
would be
far as the
ideal.
transformer, what's your wish list for that?
I mean, I don't know much about
Just to hide it?
transformers,
Just to get it?
but beautiful, so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If we put one in high enough, it's really not.
I see.
Do you know how much a cover like that would cost?
How much the cover would cost.
Varies. It varies in length, but I can tell you every one of our 50 schools is short covered walkways. And it's just another example of things that aren't priority. When we prioritize the little funding we get, we are really looking at those life-threatening type of units such as HVAC and plumbing and things like that.
Okay.
It's like you
So
use.
it is on our unfunded list.
So just to make sure I understand, every other school has a covered walkway?
No. Every school
Everyone
has-
needs one?
Yes.
Okay.
Somewhere on campus.
Wow, okay.
Particularly in portables, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
We are going to that building. Yes, we are.
Building 7 here, all the air conditioning units were put in 2004, so they're 20 years old now. They're life expectancy.
And the building we're walking to is actually the newest building, yet it is 41 years old.
Wow. You have writings on the concrete over there. What are the writings for?
They're just to help our students keep learning as they walk. So we have sight words, we have math facts, we have reminders of vocabulary, just things to help our kiddos keep it going. As we head this way, this is our pre-K playground, and they do not have storage for all of their outdoor materials that they use, like their bikes and other blocks. So They have to be stored outside, and whenever there is a large storm, we have to move all of that inside into that hallway in building 1 to keep it safe from the weather and not blowing away.
Well, at least this walkway is covered.
Yes,
At least you have some partial walkways that are covered.
Walkway is covered.
How long have you been here?
This is my 2nd year here.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay. Where we're headed now is our Student Services Manager's office. It also holds our school store and all of our magnet supplies for our aviation program.
If I can point out, this building, the AC units were installed in 1992, so they have well exceeded their life expectancy.
And they often stop working, and so most of those teachers have fans, and we have no other spaces to relocate their class to. We can move one to the media center, but that's a chain reaction of MTSS groups being relocated and things. So unfortunately, sometimes the kids just have to make the most of being in that classroom with windows open, fans on, because the air conditioning is not always working.
So what's the impact to learning and the conditions when it gets really humid and hot?
Right, so then they cannot focus and be their best selves because they're in this classroom that's not under those ideal temperature conditions at that time. So to keep the learning going and not have to cancel any MTSS groups or any services for students, the students have just learned to adapt and do the best they can in those conditions. So here it is. Again, this is our Student Services Manager's office. The school store, it has to be moved in and out of here every time that it is used, and it also houses all of our aviation magnet materials. And then we're going to head through this door over here so you can see our intervention teacher's office.
Is the aviation program new?
Yes, ma'am. We will be in magnet status next year as our first year in magnet status. So we're very excited about it. It's new and exciting. It's brought growth, but it also brings more challenges. So this is one of our intervention teachers' offices. She also has MTSS in this room, so we're limited to the number of students we can have in this group by how many can fit into this space.
And what does MTSS stand for?
MTSS is the multi-tiered system of support. So it's how we support our students in reading and math. And so if we come back this way into this area over here, this is where we have OT and PT. So our OT and PT takes place in this room. You can see it's not connected anywhere to the outside. So for them to come in for OT and PT, they have to come through one of these 3 offices to get to this space.
Occupational therapy and physical.
Thank you.
And I think I see some props back here that they use in their physical therapy sessions as well.
And you can see their makeshift whiteboard.
Yes.
You can also see that they don't even have adequate space to display school trophies.
That's such a shame.
Yes.
It really is, because the students are very proud of their accomplishments, and it needs to be out there so everybody can see as soon as the parents come in.
Absolutely. It's part of the culture, the history, and the accomplishments of the school. Stored.
All right, we're going to head out this way. This is our support facilitator's office.
Hey.
So our 2 support facilitators utilize this space for their office space, and they also have MTSS in here. That is a space where we have littler kids, so they're okay hanging out on the carpet because there are no more space for tables or things.
And that MTSS is your intervention time.
Yes,
So these are
ma'am.
struggling students come in
Yes.
for additional intensive instruction, and they sit on the floor for their intervention time.
And then the materials we hang up
on the wall.
Is this also an emotional support area? Sometimes they have emotional issues at home or with other students. How do you take care of that?
We absolutely take care of them. We'll have some offices we can show you where our social workers and things are housed as well. So we're going to head down this way.
Take it over lunchtime.
Aren't they having fun? Angel wings. Hello.
Guys, eyes forward. So remember, we're doing a little review before we
Go into this little
Number
Okay.
29 here. Samantha. Guys, I need your eyes forward.
trying not
Cracking
to
their
interrupt
heads.
learning the best we can. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Riegel. Trying, I know, like I'm trying not to interrupt the learning the best we can. So we just passed through a fourth grade room. That's one of our larger classrooms. And so this space we're in right now is the restrooms that these 3 classrooms share.
I'm sorry, could you start that again? It wasn't over here. Go
Sure.
ahead.
So that classroom we just passed through is one of our larger classrooms for 4th grade students. And this area we're in right now houses the restrooms for the 3 4th grade classrooms in this area. So we're going to just head straight through another 4th grade room unless somebody has something to
I was
add.
just going to add one thing. We
Yes,
have to keep
ma'am.
in mind too that when teachers are teaching, we want to see not only whole group instruction like she's doing now, but we also like to see students working in collaborative groups. So with limited space, it's very difficult to put students in groups and do additional activities other than whole group instruction like you just saw.
And do the teachers, does each teacher have a teaching assistant with them?
Not all day long.
Oh, okay.
All right. We're going to head straight through.
How many seats are per classroom?
What's the class? The class size is we aim for 22, but in 4th grade I think we're at more like 24 right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5-0. Okay, so Tasha is at the grocery store and wants to buy.
Oh, maybe not in 3rd grade?
Because we need to talk about those spots.
Right. I agree.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, what a great line. Go Gators. Yeah, won a basketball last night. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Do all the students know who you are?
No, not all of them. I try to get to know as many as I can. We have 45,000 students, so.
Oh, in the whole school system.
Yeah, so I really enjoy being in schools every day.
It shows.
Stand right here and wait, please.
Us? Oh, okay.
Not you guys.
Oh, okay.
Y'all go.
All right, so this room we're in is really large. However, it is technically 2 rooms. So if you see this collapsible wall right here, this wall, one great room in the way that we're utilizing it, could be if this wall was across just this space we're all in is a room, and over there is a room, which would make it kind of small. Also, we're going to walk into the pod area so you can see the space teachers do have to try to run MTSS in between here, but I would like you to notice what we don't see in these rooms is bathrooms. So those bathrooms we just visited, these 5th grade students have to leave their classroom, go knock on a 4th grade classroom, interrupt their classroom to go in to use the bathroom. So then it becomes the responsibility of those teachers to help monitor that bathroom usage. So there's 3 restrooms essentially for these 5 classes to share between 4th and 5th grade, because these 2 rooms, technically 4 rooms, because what we're standing in is 2 rooms, have no bathroom access at all.
So every time a student goes to do that, they're now interrupting another whole class
Yes.
to get let in, to use the facility,
And
to
then
come
come
back
back,
and then
knock
knock on the
again,
door and interrupt
come
2
back.
classes.
Yes, ma'am.
And because we live in a world where we have to be safe, those doors remain locked. And so the students has to have, knock on the door and ask for access, which is disruptive.
So to get us back to the other side of the building, we're just going to head through here real quick. You can see one of these spaces. So this is a place that they have MTSS in storage.
Thank you.
Go.
Oh my. Look at all of that wiring.
These 2 are working together. What's this letter? Well, where is this? This one is. This one. Yes. Yes. And then you have all that.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, roots and rocks. I gotta look for roots and rocks.
Listen, I still have PTSD.
Well, at least they have recess still.
Yes, everybody has recess every day.
Mhm.
They're supposed to.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Everything's well maintained. I mean, the grass, everything's
Yes.
cut. The shrubs are manicured. Everything looks really nice. The playground equipment real clean.
Yeah, all right. So we aren't going to head into this building, but in building 7, it is mostly our primary students, our kindergarten and our first grade. We do have one 5th grade class in there because we ran out of space in building 8 to house them. So they're in a classroom that does have a bathroom, but it has no locked door. So also all of the rooms within building 7 connect to each other with no locked door. So if you get into one room in building 7, you can get to every other room through a push door, which we don't think is safe for our students as well. In this portable right here, we have art, music, and speech. So there is a little area for the speech pathologist to work with her students. That's on the side of the art room. And the storage in there is also very small. Our art teacher has one small closet, much smaller than the pod we just walked through, and it has no door on it. These portables are used for our students with exceptionalities, as well as our gifted students. Anything to add about portables? Oh yeah, I mean here again, right, is a space. All the students that are out in these spaces, when they're traveling from art and music back to their class, or from these other portables over to class, there's no covered walkway option for them to utilize.
And if I could speak about district-wide portables, so we have approximately 332 portables across our district that we own. Of that, about 246 of them are used for instructional purposes. And when you think of that, at any given moment in instructional day, that impacts about 4,000 to 6,000 students. So if we're in severe weather and we have to evacuate portables, then you're looking at every student having to go into another building and most likely sitting in hallways or other classrooms and losing the instructional time. And that significantly impacts their performance. With that said, all 332 of those portables come June of 2025 surpassed the 20-year mark, and DOE will tell you the lifespan that they expect you to have a portable is only 20 years. They continue to allow us to use them so long as they pass the annual inspection that is given every year. But again, this is how we are triaging the growth in Marion County by adding portables. This upcoming year, due to growth, we will be spending approximately $2 million just to be able to handle the growth through uses of portables.
Wow.
Barbara, if the funds were available, could this area be used for a future wing?
So, yes, I'll talk about that a little bit. Behind us, you'll see some students, and that land was purchased in 1988 to give an area of play for PE and so forth. So we actually have land back there. If we were to build, we can start back there and build a school while we're still on site and then work for it. That is something that we will, we are solidifying our recommendations on a 15-year plan on what we would do for the site.
And I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
What is the actual half-life of a portable, and How many district-wide do we need to replace in the near future? Do you know the answer?
So truly, we should be replacing any portable over 20 years old. So if all portables are out of the 20-year mark next June, that's about $62 million to replace every portable that we currently own.
And do you give a tour to the parents when you have student-teacher conferences and things like that, so the parents see firsthand about the school that the children are going to?
Yes, ma'am. We just gave a tour this morning, actually, because with our new aviation magnet program, we have a lot of interest from the community in what we're doing here at Sparr, and we know that even though we are using every corner, it's still a great place to be. And we had that parent leaving happy, looking at our small school and knowing that we're doing the best with what we've been doing.
Because ultimately, it's the people that will be important to a parent.
Absolutely.
The teachers are important to a parent.
And we will talk about
Words.
Yeah.
A good idea.
Our solar system rather on the wall.
Nice. I love it. That's great. Basketball court. Yeah, this is all subliminal for the kids. I think it's wonderful. Look at that solar system.
So I just want you to notice, it's kind of far away, but over here is our PE court, and beyond our PE court is our PE track, which is sand with beams around it, and there's tree roots and whatnot. And the kids do a good job running around it, and we have at our school, we have one PE coach and one PE tech that we've been grateful to receive, and they do a good job trying to monitor them in that area. And then way back there is the PE field, which does have a fence around it, but you can't see most of the fence. So that is one of our concerns as well.
So they have to use the restroom, where do they go?
If they have to use the restroom, they have to come all the way over here. And there are 2 drinking fountains they can access. One you can see on the side of that portable over there, and the other one is right next to the cafeteria. So that is a concern for PE being so far out at the far ends of our campus, and the facilities for water and restrooms are very far away. So now we're going to head into the guidance area.
Do the children eat outside their lunches here? I see the picnic tables, or do they eat inside?
They can. This is, of course, weather-dependent space, so we like that we have these here. We just can't count on it for everyday use, so they generally eat inside the cafeteria. So right here is our guidance area.
Do you have a playground?
We have the pre-K playground that we saw and the kindergarten playground. So
That's
our
it.
pre-K and kinder are the ones.
There are actually two, I found out recently there are actually 2 schools in that playground.
No, there's like,
Isn't that right?
it's way more than that. Yeah, I think there's
Oh, like more than that?
yeah, there's like 17 without.
17 schools
Some of
without
them have
playgrounds.
at least one.
Okay.
But it's Bellevue Santos who doesn't have. And the kindergarten playground can house up to kindergarten. This is lovely space
Oh.
here.
Oh my.
Well, I like the bicycle.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Look at there are 2 of them. There's a yellow one, a green
Are
one.
we going all the way through, or are we
We're just
staying?
come on up this way. We're gonna go out this door.
Okay. Look at that pretty bike.
Nice. Like art supplies and things.
Right in this space that's clearly used for storage. This is also the space where our IT person, our person who helps with the tech, will be when they are here. And this is also where our school social worker is. So we house our school social worker and our IT person, as well as a storage space. So we are actually going to head out this door and keep going around to the PE room.
Is the social worker on site here all the time, or
Not
does
every
that
day.
person go from school to school?
He does have multiple schools, so he's not here every day.
Oh, okay. Oh, go ahead. Thank you.
It's a maze over here.
Oh, Thank you so much.
Not these walkways, no. Students will not travel through there. All right, this space that we're in is the PE room. So our PE coach and our PE tech, their offices are in here. This is also when they have to be inside when it's cold or when it's raining. This is the space where they can have up to 2 classes at a time in this space.
How many students combined for 2 classes?
Almost 50 students.
In this room at one time?
If it's raining, are they doing calisthenics? What are they doing in here?
Yep, they do the best they can, right? They do the best they can with this space. They do a great job.
Yeah.
Our coaches are awesome. They're very creative about using the space here as well. So we're going to head out around this way.
Nice.
And I know this doesn't sound right, but yes, we are headed through the girls' restroom.
Okay.
You need to say that again for me. Hold on.
Okay.
Go.
I know this doesn't sound right, but we are about to head through the girls' restroom. It's clear of students, don't worry.
Why you gotta film me doing this, huh?
My gosh.
We do. We find every nook and cranny. No nook and cranny uncovered here. We use them all.
I saw a deputy car parked out here. Do you have a school resource officer here the whole time?
This is his office right here.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
So,
nice.
Yep, this is our school resource officer's office. This table right here is where our other counselor that is here a few days a week and works with students. If we don't have another open space for her, this table is where she works with students. In here, this is our guidance counselor's office, as well as our conference room where we would have meetings with parents regarding their students. So the guidance counselor doesn't have a separate office from the conference room. Those are a shared space. In addition, our guidance clerk has to try to store all sorts of things out here, like clothes for kiddos that need it. And so she's doing a great job making the most she can with that space as well. But there's a lot to fit in this area. And then if we head this way,
Go ahead.
in here, we have another space that at first glance you might think is storage, but is where we house our students with exceptionality specialist, as well as our school psychologist on the days of the week that they are here. And when we come back around this way, you'll see we've made the full circle through this very interesting space.
It's nice and cozy, right?
A little tiny.
Oh yeah, with all the wires. Hello.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's where we came in and started, and so we just went all the way around.
Everything's very positive on your walls. I mean, every time we enter and exit a building, there's always something that's positively said that's on the walls for the kids.
We appreciate that. We want this to be a great place to be. We want it to be a place students want to come and learn every single day. All right. Well, Mr. Myers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, we appreciate it.
All right, so this is our cafeteria, and we have 2 hours to try to get all 440 of our students through the cafeteria line every day. You'll see up on our stage this table's where we have our school store, so that has to be brought in from the student services manager's office over here, set up, used, taken down, and brought back every single day. Because what's behind the curtain are aftercare program storage and their office. So our after-school programs site manager, her desk is behind this red curtain. And so her space to do her work is a curtain behind a desk behind a curtain. And they have a small closet up on the stage as well. And we also have the equipment to run the AV in this room. And so it is a challenge to get all of our students through. 2 hours is not really enough time. It sounds like enough time, but to get 440 students in and out of this space is a lot to do because the tables fill up fast. We also use this space for MTSS outside of lunch times.
Do you serve breakfast also?
Yes, ma'am. We have that in this room as well.
And how long does the aftercare program last each day?
They're open till 6 p.m.
And what time do you open in the morning? School?
They open school.
Yeah.
Our students come in the doors at 7:15. Our school day officially starts at 7:45.
And the official date a day for a stop
Students
time?
ends at 2:05.
Oh, okay.
So how do you have a student performance? When you look at the arts and music and
We try.
How do you do that when you have
So
closets?
we have a winter extravaganza, and Mr. Herring, our music teacher, he does a great job, but he has to use part of the floor. And then we have parents packed in this room, so we've got students out to here and parents all the way back. And he's got people on the stage, and we try to make it as beautiful as we can. And I know we're very proud of our school, and we make the most of every nook and cranny in our school. So we want you to see one more thing as we head out this door over here.
I'm sure you noted that all the windows are original, and you can only imagine how efficient they are at keeping cold air in and hot air out.
Well, everything looks dated, though. I mean, even the restrooms, you can tell by the tile and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. It's a kitchen. Thank you.
That door that we just came out of for our smallest friends in pre-K, for them to go to breakfast and lunch every day. Their choices are to go all the way around or to come out beyond the locked gates and then in that door we just came through. So also when it is raining, if we can't it's not safe to send students past that uncovered walkway, they have that same option. They have to come around, obviously with teachers with them, past this less secured area. We also wanted to point out our car line space where we have not a lot of covered space for all of our students to be under. So we have benches on both sides, and we have benches on both sides to accommodate more of our students. But the challenge there is then we have benches where we would prefer to load a car. So it just kind of makes it a little bit of a game to try to make sure that we're safely getting all of our students into the car. Also, we have a lot of students who come and leave school from the car line. And our car line will back up all along this road every single morning and afternoon. So that is a challenge, the flow of traffic here out at Carline. We go as fast as we can to get them in and out of school safely, but it is one of our challenges every day because this covered section is not very long. So we make, again, the most of the space that we have.
Where do the school buses load and unload?
The buses are on the opposite side of the school beyond Building 8.
And what is the percentage of students that take the bus as opposed to the parents that drop them off and pick them up?
It's about half, maybe half, approximately half.
So, Ms. Schrader, I want to ask you one question.
Okay.
You overwhelmed us and you showed us all of your needs.
Yes, sir.
But overall, what would you say you would like to see here at Sparr Elementary?
We would love to see some space that reflects the pride we have for our school. We'd love to be able to give our students all of the things that we want for them and the facilities that we know they deserve. So our school is growing, our magnet program is just beginning, and we know Sparr is only going to become a better place to be, and we'd like to have facilities to help us accomplish that.
Is this information that our legislators should see?
Yes.
State, county, which legislators? All of them?
I mean, whoever can help us achieve our goals. Because the only place we have left is the roof. So we found every other corner, and the roof's all we've got left.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I read what Ms. Johnson has said?
Yes.
Student enrollment is slowly and steadily increasing, especially with the new magnet program. And as you see, we are already utilizing every possible corner that we can. Not only is this not only is this equitable for our north side kids, it is not sustainable, and we are on borrowed time to figure out something before we start storing stuff on the roof.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we share this with everybody. What can the average person do? Anything? The parents? Just vote. All right. That's it. So elected officials, if you're watching this, you better answer these needs. We're not going to vote for you, right?
Yeah.
Right, Bruce?
Ms. Schrader, you did a wonderful job.
Yes, you did.
Thank you guys for coming
Thank
to
you.
our school. We appreciate it.
Your pride in your school is glaringly obvious, and it's been a pleasure being here, so thank you
so much. It's
Nicely
small,
said.
but it's a great place to be.
It is. So those of you joining us at Anthony Elementary School, we will begin that tour once we all arrive.
Right here,
And we
Hilda.
thank the entire team.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
in classrooms and lots of spaces, and staff having lunch today, so please thank them for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Dr. Gullett, what was your first reaction when you started the school tour the other day on Tuesday? When you started seeing the schools and hearing about what their needs are, especially Sparr Elementary?
Well, I'm not shocked, which is why I offered these opportunities for our community to come in and see what I already know. And you saw earlier the pipes that's being shown. We are very fortunate right now that we have such a dedicated team. But when you have buildings that are half century old and have original systems, and we can't get parts to replace them, at any moment it would impact entirely a whole school potentially and the learning of those students. And we don't have a lot of options. We are down to only our 1.5 millage rate, which is about $25 to $30 million a year. And we've already calculated we need over $1.5 billion. So we haven't had impact fees in 13 years, and we have 9% growth in enrollment over the last 10 years. And we haven't had sales tax in 15 years. And with the ending of PICO dollars, which I know you asked about that hasn't been here since 2019 from the state level. That's all we have. So we are counting on our community to support what we know our students deserve.
And you do have an open door policy, not just for the teachers, but the parents as well,
Yes.
and the students to express their concerns.
Yes, we do. Student voice is really important, as is our community. And so we welcome our parents and community members to come and see our schools.
So impact fees, that would be one thing that would make a difference, huh?
It makes a difference because the impact fees are designed to support the areas of growth where we have localized overcrowding, especially in the Southwest Corridor and into Bellevue, and that's continuing to grow throughout Marion County. It's a portion of that, but it's not the whole solution. So we need both. We
So
can't.
is that something the school board decides?
So we've already moved that on to the county, and the county commissioners will decide that.
All right.
They have a public hearing on March 5th, and we are counting on them to support impact fees. They have already discussed our resolution that went forward for sales tax, and it has been decided that would go on to the November ballot, so we're hoping that our community will support the half-cent
So
sales tax.
one more question, if it passes, if everything passes, 1 year from now, what would be the difference?
The 1 year from now we'll have a plan to be able to move forward. We've already signed a resolution to borrow up to $330 million. So we're doing our part to borrow, but that will only carry us through a few years.
Sure,
And that's only for the growth. And the study that we did, the long range study, showed that we needed between 6 and 10 schools over the next 15 years conservatively. If the growth continues and expands beyond what we predict, it would be more than that, but from a conservative figure, 6 to 10 schools. So we are only just beginning to address that growth, and you saw the maintenance issues in our buildings.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it's been the perfect storm. I could see it when I came to Marion County that it was, we were going to need a plan and need it very quickly.
I think I'm surprised. I don't know how many of the other people here are surprised. I'm surprised.
Are you?
I'm glad you were courageous enough to show us.
Well,
A lot of people wouldn't want the media looking into the closets.
Our students deserve courage.
Absolutely.
How would
Can
you
you talk a
encourage
bit about?
voters?
Sorry.
How would you encourage voters to vote yes when the sales tax comes on the ballot in November?
Again, you saw today, seeing what our student needs are is the priority for everything that we do, right? We can't expect to provide a productive learning environment when students are working in closets, learning in closets, and they have to impact 2 or 3 classrooms just to use the restroom facilities. Our students deserve better than that. And I do think our community will support what's best for our students.
The idea for the store, how did you pick which schools were going to be shown?
So we could have shown you any of our schools, to be honest. When, again, you do the math, when you have nearly half of our schools are 50 years and older with original systems and structures, and 78% are 30 years and older, we could have gone and visited any of our schools. We haven't been building schools for years. I think the last school built was in 2011. And so this is just representative of all of our schools and the needs that we have.
So do you say and spell your name for me real quick?
Diane, Diane, Gullett, Gullett.
And your title?
Superintendent.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And with all of the growth that's going on in Marion County, with all the apartment buildings and everything, will there be enough money to fix what is wrong with the existing schools and yet to build more schools, new schools to accommodate that growth?
The only way we can address and have ample spaces for our students for growth is with impact fees and address the maintenance with both impact fees and sales tax.
Oh, okay.
We can only get with the money that we're borrowing, we can only get through a few years, and that's just to address the growth to make sure we have seats for the students moving to Marion County. But we have no money beyond that point to address the maintenance.
Mm.
Wow, very good. Thank you so much,
You're
Doctor.
very welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Thank you
your
for
time.
taking the I don't think everybody understands our problem.
I think you were very brave by letting us all come in here and take
I
a tour.
appreciate your insight
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, of course, so much.
All right.